Is SEC football officially dead? For 20 years, the South ran college football like a family business, treating the national championship trophy like a permanent living room fixture. But welcome to 2026, where the historic Southern hegemony has completely collapsed. The SEC hasn't seen the national championship game for 3 straight seasons, their longest drought since the turn of the millennium. Instead, the Big Ten has pulled off a hostile corporate takeover, winning 3 consecutive national titles with 3 completely different schools. This is Rico Swavae from the College Pigskin Hour. Pour yourself a stiff one, because we are breaking down exactly how the Big Ten weaponized capitalism to break the SEC's talent monopoly. So how did the SEC fall from grace? It wasn't a sudden crash. It was a slow, agonizing downward progression. For years, the conference relied on the ultimate cheat code, Alabama head coach Nick Saban. But on January 10th, 2024, Saban looked at the chaotic new world of NIL and the transfer portal and said, "I'm out." The stabilizing force of the entire conference walked out the door. Cut to the post-Saban era under Kalen DeBoer, where Alabama went from college football's main character to getting utterly humiliated in a historic 38-3 blowout loss to Indiana in the Rose Bowl quarterfinal. Even Texas, who entered 2025 with a shiny #1 ranking, choked to a 9-3 finish, missing the playoffs entirely. So, did NIL and the transfer portal directly murder the SEC's dominance? Short answer, yes, absolutely. Historically, the SEC's superpower wasn't just their star players, it was their absurd roster depth. They used to stockpile 4- and 5-star high school recruits who were perfectly happy sitting on the bench for 3 years, waiting their turn. But modern NIL flipped the script. As former LSU coach Ed Orgeron pointed out, player compensation moved from shady, illegal backdoor channels to fully legal, transparent front-door collectives. Backups are now free agents. Why sit on the bench in the grueling SEC when you can get a massive financial bag and guaranteed playing time somewhere else? Thanks to the $2.8 billion House versus NCAA settlement, schools can share up to $32 million annually, completely standardizing player payouts and vaporizing the SEC's depth. Let's follow the money, because the math is brutal for the SEC. During the great conference realignment, the Big Ten pulled off a chess move by snatching USC and UCLA, locking down nearly 6 million households in Southern California. Former Commissioner Kevin Warren turned that into a monstrous 7-year, $8.05 billion media rights jackpot with Fox, CBS, and NBC. Meanwhile, the SEC signed an exclusive 10-year deal with Disney and ESPN for a comparatively measly $3 billion. That means Big Ten schools are swimming in cash, outpacing the SEC in total revenue distribution and average school payouts. They are using this financial asymmetry to build space-age facilities, fund top-tier medical departments, and pump endless cash into elite NIL collectives. If you think this is just theoretical talk, the on-field results from the 2025 to 2026 postseason will break your heart. The Big Ten completely owned bowl season, finishing with an incredible 11-5 record and taking home the Bowl Challenge Cup. The SEC? They suffered a catastrophic 4-10 collapse, their worst postseason showing in modern history. And honestly, it's even funnier when you look closer. 2 of the SEC's only 4 wins came from playing themselves in the expanded playoff first round. Against non-conference opponents, the SEC went a pathetic 2-7, including a 1-7 disaster against other Power 4 conferences. Head-to-head, the Big Ten went 3-1 against them, featuring Illinois beating Tennessee, Iowa taking down Vanderbilt, and Indiana turning Alabama into a meme. The ultimate proof of this new reality is the mind-blowing rise of the 2025 Indiana Hoosiers. After 127 years of being completely irrelevant in football, Indiana went a perfect 16-0, capping it off with a 27-21 national championship victory over Miami. Head coach Curt Cignetti bypasses years of traditional high school development by using massive NIL funding to build a championship roster in a single off-season. The crown jewel? Transfer quarterback Fernando Mendoza, who won the Heisman Trophy by throwing an FBS-leading 41 touchdowns. To reward Signetti, Indiana triggered a good faith market review clause in his contract, vaulting his salary to an astronomical $13.2 million annually. Indiana is officially paying top-tier blue blood money. The talent drain isn't just happening in the transfer portal. The Big Ten is actively raiding the South's high school pipelines, too. In 2026, the USC Trojans locked down the #1 overall recruiting class in the nation, marking the first time since 2008 that a non-SEC school took the crown. What a plot twist. Modern programs are drastically cutting back on taking 3-star high school projects, saving those roster spots and NIL funds for proven college transfers, and only targeting elite 5-star high schoolers. This strategy has hit the SEC where it hurts. Look no further than the 2026 NFL Draft. The Big Ten dominated the first round with 10 selections, compared to the SEC's mere 7. While the SEC set a record with 87 total picks, they were mostly backloaded on days 2 and 3. The SEC is still producing solid middle market depth, but the Big Ten has consolidated the elite top-tier superstars. This power dynamic has triggered a massive administrative Cold War. SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey tried to push for a 16-team playoff with 11 at-large bids to protect his conference's middle-tier teams. But Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti, negotiating from a position of absolute financial strength, demanded a 24-team format to blow up conference championship games altogether. Because neither side would blink, they are deadlocked at a 12-team format for 2026. But make no mistake, the permanent decentralization of power is complete. Regional tradition and Southern legacy are no longer enough to win. Roster engineering and corporate capital deployment run the sport now. And right now, the Big Ten owns the crown. For decades, Southern football told the rest of the country it just means more. Turns out, it did mean more. Specifically, more zero-sum corporate maneuvering, more media rights dollars, and a transfer portal that turned amateur sports into an uncapped Wall Street trading floor. The SEC didn't get out-coached or out-recruited. They got out-marketed by a conference that realized playing football in Southern California while getting paid by Midwestern big-money networks is peak late-stage capitalism. Ponder this question. Did the SEC actually lose its soul, or did the Big Ten just buy it, rebrand it, and rent it back to us for $13 million a year? You heard it here first. This was Rico Swavae from the College Pigskin Hour, coming to you live from our studio in Barstow, California. Please subscribe and like for more up-to-the-minute news on everything college football. Stay prestigious, and good night, America.